Nev, what's going on? We back for another week. Talk nice with Beezo. Here,
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen. What's going on with you?
not much, man. I'm just here waiting for this football season to start, and we need something to watch, man.
Absolutely. Football season is here. I can smell it in the air, feel it. I'm ready for it. But before we get started with that, I did want to update the people. I'm sure y'all watching with social justice. Karmelo Anthony yesterday, they recused the judge that was on the first trial. And today they was going all day trying to get him a new trial with an appeal process. So that's in the works. Hopefully everything works out and he gets a new trial. But it is good news yesterday that they recused the previous judge from this from hearing about the appeal for the new trial. So for them seeing that
Cool.
dream team is doing their job. So
Shout
good
out to
luck to
them.
him and his family.
Yeah, big shout out to them.
Yeah,
Big
so
shout out to them.
absolutely. I can only understand. I can only sympathize with what he's going through and his family's going through. So hopefully
For
he
sure.
get his life back and get a new trial, and they change up that 35-year sentence for him. So, but I just wanted to update anybody that wasn't following or didn't know. So that's a good thing going forward. And like we said, it's football season. Football is in the air. We ready for it. Fall is coming. Summer's almost out of here. Who your team, man?
Baltimore Ravens. The
From New York.
Baltimore
You a
Ravens.
Raven fan. How that happen?
How did that happen? So, I want to say in 2001, my mom moved to Baltimore with the was it 2001 she moved to Baltimore. We went to the first Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. My mom moved to Baltimore, and it was just the first real football team that I was actually able to be around. She moved. I was going back and forth to New York to Baltimore to New York to Baltimore during football season. So I got to know a lot of the Ravens players at that time, like the 2001, the Jamie Sharpers, the Peter Bullwares, Ray Lewis, Jonathan Ogden. I really got close to his younger brother, Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
Real cool. Uh, real cool. Got to know them guys. Would go up summertime, be down in Baltimore, go back to New York for school, come back down, go back to New York for school. She worked there until after 2012.
Oh, so your mom's
Uh,
worked for the Ravens, and that's
she
why she
worked
had
for the
moved to Baltimore.
Ravens. Yeah.
Okay, hey,
So she
so
worked for them in 2000. She worked for them through two Super Bowls. And then she left, I want to say, right as Bashotti bought Modell completely out, because I think Modell had died. Or Modell
hmm
had died, and then when they bought Bashotti, when Bashotti bought the Ravens completely, he bought his share. That's when the medical staff had moved on. They had offered her to move on to Seattle, but she said no, she wasn't going to leave the East Coast, of course. But yeah, she's been in Baltimore ever since, and I kind of moved around there as of school, college, and everything like that. So yeah, that's why I became a Ravens fan, because I was able to go to a lot of games. Before that, I was a Jets fan.
okay.
I'm off that drug, but
You leveled up in fan.
yeah. So I became a Baltimore Ravens fan. I know all, like when I tell you, I know a lot of the players back in the day, and especially when we used to go to training camp. We used to go to training camp and be on the field throwing the ball. The guys, I mean, Randy Himes. I can name some receivers that you'd have never thought that was in tryouts. Guys that I met in tryout. Randy Himes, Javin Hunter. Javin Hunter is actually Jaden Ivey's dad.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of those guys. So I met a lot of those guys. Was in and around the organization a lot. So yeah, that's where my fandom comes from. So I'm really a big fan from inside and from afar. So I really like them as a team.
Absolutely. You grew up with them, so I get that. Absolutely.
Hmm.
So, and you know me, I'm a Cowboys fan,
Okay.
um, die
Yeah,
hard.
we do.
So, yeah, and that was that's since what, 80, I want to say 89,
Okay.
88, 89. Troy, when the triplets got there,
Yeah,
AB, Irvin, and
Troy.
Emmett,
Yeah.
around
Okay.
that time, really, that's the first, I guess you want to say, image of football that I seen, even though they was like 1 and 15, 88, 89. But hearing about the triplets, and then watching Emmett play, watching Michael Irvin play, I've been a fan since like 89, 88, 89. And then so I got to see 3 Super Bowls um with them winning, and then I've been on a turbulent plane since since '95,
So,
running with Jerry, Jerry, defending the team.
yeah.
I've been on the outs with them. I've been like, I'm not dealing with them no more. When the Jerry Jones thing came up with the black girls that he was in the crowd when the black girls couldn't get into
Oh,
the
yeah,
school,
yeah, yeah. I remember that
segregation thing,
very vividly.
so that kind of turned me off a little bit just because you see what I tweet.
Hmm.
I'm really stand up for my black people. So, but I'm still a football fan, and I couldn't see me rooting for no other team um, at all. So I kind of like turned off anything with Jerry and just was like, all right, let me just root for the team and and the players on the team. Like Romo was there, and then Dak Prescott took over, and I was happy to see a black quarterback on the team, and they had success to a certain extent, even though they couldn't win in the playoffs. So, but yeah, I'm here, 2026, new season. What you think your Ravens is going to be doing this season?
All right, so man, I know a lot of Ravens fans are probably gonna hate me for this, but looking over the schedule, looking at everything, new coach, new system, for the most part, offensively, with Declan Doyle, I really, really think that the Ravens are gonna go like 10-7.
Okay, you think that's enough
Really,
to vision? I mean,
I
it's
don't think there's enough to. I don't think it's enough to win the division. And now that completely depends on if Joe Burrow is healthy. If Joe Burrow is healthy and the Bengals can make a run, I think that the Bengals don't start off with the 4-game slide that they normally have started off with the last few years. I think that they start off strong. That all depends on Joe Burrow being healthy. If he's healthy, I think that they win the division. The Ravens might get in via wild card, but I'm really leaning on a 10-7 season and them probably making the wild card. They're not winning a Super Bowl this year. I'm being realistic.
hmm,
I like what I see. I like a
mhm.
lot of what I see. I like the fact that we probably got a nice big receiver, which we've needed one for years, in Jacoby Lane. I'm unsure about a lot of things. Behind Roquan Smith, you don't have another middle linebacker. You got an undrafted guy, in I think it's Jimmy Higgins or Higgins the fifth or the fourth, and it's the linebacking core is kind of weak to me because I'm not really a fan of Trenton Simpson.
Mhm.
Kyle Hamilton is generational. I believe he's a really, really good safety. I think that Jesse Minter will put him in very good position to be a great safety. One of the all-time great. He probably have an all-time great season, but man, I'm really not seeing it. The first year of a regime, I really see 10-7. They're going to struggle in some games, especially with the offense and
Think those
everything.
losses will come from inside the division? I know that's a tough division, even though Pittsburgh and Cleveland don't really fare well. I mean, Pittsburgh has made the playoffs every year.
Hey, listen.
Um,
For as
do you
long as
think?
I've been a Ravens fan, no matter how good or bad Pittsburgh is, it's always been a game that Pittsburgh has shown up for. Baltimore.
Yeah,
It's always been a game, no matter how good we are, that we have when we play Pittsburgh. We know, hey, we got to bring our A to the game because even if they 3-13 or 3-11, we know they're gonna give us their best shot. That for that year, that might be their Super Bowl. You understand? So, uh, I'm not giving the only teams I would say that they would basically maybe sweep would be the Browns
yeah.
because of how unsettled the Browns are at quarterback.
Hmm.
But man, Pittsburgh is a live wire to the Baltimore Ravens, and I think the Bengals will win one out of two, and they'll probably split with the Bengals. I want to say split with the Bengals, split with the Steelers, and then clear the Browns, and then the rest of the losses will be outside of the division.
Yeah. So okay, I see where you're coming from. I can understand that absolutely. I just think the AFC North has always been a bloodbath when it comes to
Mhm.
inside playing each other. Division is always, and that division crown always comes down to the division record with y'all or whoever it is. And I do agree with you. I think Joe Burrow, if healthy with Higgins and
Jamar
what's his
Chase.
name? Jamal Chase out on the outside, I think I don't believe in them too much, but I just don't believe Joe Burrow can stay healthy. I just don't see it, and that's because their offensive line hasn't been good, not even scraping good over the last few seasons. And I don't watch them enough to know if they've addressed it to the point where I believe he's going to be upright. Because every season, even when he's healthy, he's like the offensive line is like leading in sacks given up to opposing defenders like every
Mm-hmm.
season. So,
Mm-hmm.
but if they dressed it and it's even somewhat towards good, he's elite enough for me with Jamar
Oh
Chase and
yeah,
Higgins on the outside to
yeah.
cause problems. Um, you
Joe
know,
Burrow. Joe Burrow
in conference.
might be. I'm not going. I'm not going to like do a hot take, but I think Joe Burrow might be one of the most accurate quarterbacks I've ever seen.
Yeah,
The most
he's up there,
accurate.
and
He's
it's
one
hard
of.
to give him. He's one of the most accurate, but it's hard to gauge him because he's been injured the last few years. So, you know,
Yeah, but here's my thing though. Here's my thing too. The last time he was healthy, they ended up in the
he
Super
was
Bowl.
killing. Yeah, they did.
They
Yeah,
ended up in the Super Bowl. So,
so
and that's
you
more.
you go
And
for
a
that.
lot of people will tell me, "Oh, how are you so on Lamar?" And I'm like, listen, Lamar's been doing a lot. Like I appreciate everything that he's done for Baltimore, but regardless of what we want to say, Joe Burrow's gotten to a Super Bowl. He's the quarterback in the division who's gotten to a Super Bowl, and he hasn't had as much as Lamar has. For example,
Lamar
I
has a lot of
mean,
help. Zay
hmm
Flowers, um,
Mark
what's his name?
Andrews,
Mark Andrews
Derrick
at tight
Henry, got
end.
King Henry.
Derrick
Yeah,
Henry right there in the backfield. So
yeah,
my question to you is, with Lamar Jackson, so he came into the league dual threat as usual.
hmm
They put that label on black QBs all the time, regardless if you could run or
all the
not.
time
But with him,
for
it was
sure.
a true thing where he actually was very dangerous with his feet. And
hmm
the problem was his accuracy, in my opinion, coming into the NFL. He had a strong arm, but intermediate throws, check downs, he wasn't as accurate. It's progressed to the point
He's still
now where,
he's it's serviceable, but it ain't even. It's still not all the way there.
but he's going away from in my opinion, watching him, it looks like somebody's in his ear telling him, throw first, throw second, run last, where it's no longer instinctual. And I think teams were starting to see that, and it would be more contained as opposed to we want you to try to run
Yo, you might have just
because it
triggered
wasn't
me.
instinctual for him anymore. You know how when Vic, I don't know if you Mike Vic,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
instinctual. Like
yeah,
I know I can throw this 80 yards,
yeah.
but I also know in certain things I'm gonna use my best attribute, which is my feet, to get this first down or more. It seemed like he regressed in that. Do you think I'm
All
off the
right,
mark or
no, because you actually just triggered me, and I ain't even gonna hold you. I think it was 2023. 2023. Uh, the Ravens. I'm not sure. They had one of the best teams in the AFC. I think they played the Bengals in the wild card game, and for the life of me, Lamar had 32 yards rushing in the game. Lanes were open because at this time we're talking about a Bengals team that does not have a good defense at all. This is before they got Dexter Lawrence. This is before they added Dax Hill. This is before they added all those guys. They had no one defensively. And the main issue is everyone was talking about was how bad the Bengals were defensively. Lanes, I mean, absolute traffic. 95 lanes were open for Lamar to run. and he would throw, and he would throw, and you would have his receivers, whether it be Mark Andrews, whether it was, not even sure the guys' names at the time, but those guys were dropping passes, and it was just not working. It was just not working, and he refused to run. He refused to run, and I think it had everything to do with Todd Monken. I also, and this is the thing that I get a lot of flack for, I also think it's him saying, all right, I'm getting a little older. I want to transition into being a pass-first quarterback so that I'm not phased out, if that makes sense.
I get that. Yeah, I can understand that. But yeah, if you're going away from your strengths in order to be a traditional QB, that's detrimental to the team. Like that doesn't help the team if you're not using what they got you for. Like
Mm-hmm.
I never understood that. Like I get it. You want to get that stigma from being a dual threat because you're a black quarterback and you want to show people I can actually stand in the pocket and dissect and throw dots. But if you're doing it to the detriment of the team when there's lanes open or you second guessing
And
yourself, you're gonna end your career faster than you think because that's how, especially football players, that's how you get hurt when you start second guessing your
mm-hmm.
instincts.
Yeah, and I really think that that was where it kind of all came to a head. And last year, the year before last year, and last year, it was really a thing where he was really, I'd rather stand and pat the ball a couple times and then throw, have an incomplete pass, instead of picking up a 8 yards or picking up a 7 yards here and there with a scramble. Do I like Lamar? Yeah, I like Lamar. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I love Lamar, but I like Lamar. I think that Lamar is a good quarterback. Do I think that this train has got much longer to go? No. I'm just being honest. I don't. This 75 mil, I would be, me personally, I would be hard pressed. And I'm saying all this, it's probably gonna be crazy high, but I'd be hard pressed to pay Lamar for another 4 years. I am not counting anybody's bank book, but I'd be hard pressed to pay Lamar for the next 4 years. I think that the Ravens should start looking at maybe an option to develop behind him if you can, and start looking 2-3 years down the road, 2.5 years down the road, and saying, hey, we might need a quarterback soon.
So you
Because
think their success is not? You think? Let me frame it this way: do you think their best success is with people that are not currently on the team right now, moving forward?
outside of, I want to say maybe Zay Flowers, Kyle Hamilton, uh, I think Starks is really good. Marlon Humphreys, he got to go. He was getting cooked last year. I mean, he barbecue chicken on the outside. I think Nate Wiggins is a pretty good corner. I think he can be better, but I think he's a good corner. Namdi Matabike, I think Namdi Matabike he's going to be another guy that I'm going to be watching this season to see if he's really recovered from the neck injury, because the neck injury is not something to play with. I don't think that that's something that we're going to sneeze at or whatever, but I want to see how he recovers to see if he's somebody. Roquan Smith, I really don't want him on the roster anymore because, and here's my thing too. The Ravens got a lot of money tied up into a few players. Like, we got to spread that out. And I think that's the best way to win a chip is to spread that out or to have young players. Look at the Seahawks this past season. I think Sam Darnold's just about to get paid in like what, a year and a half. He's going to be up to be getting paid. So I think most of the time, and I'm of the philosophy that a team's salary has to be spread out. Lamar is beyond taking a pay cut. He's making $75 million this year. I think $75 million next year, and then they got to renegotiate. So, do I think that the success is beyond the players in his roster? I think that they got a shot in the next 2 years. It's not clear, but I think if it doesn't happen, if it miraculously doesn't happen in the next 2 years, I don't think it's gonna happen with them.
So I get what you're saying, yeah, and you super tuned in with those players. So I get what you're saying with the Cal Hamiltons and the Zay Flowers. They're still young enough, I think, to go into the next regime. if they're
Hmm.
looking to get a new QB. Of course, Derrick Henry is still Derrick Henry, but it's
But for how
tread on.
long though?
Yeah, it's
That's
tread
the
on the
question.
tires. It's tread on the tires. So I get that. So I can see what you're saying. Yeah, I give him a 2 year window. Before a major overhaul. I don't think they give Lamar unless he balls out this season. I really don't see a 4 year extension. Um, and especially in the way these things are going. But he's still top 10 QBs right now going into the season. So he does warrant that conversation of an extension. But I think he knows, and I think the organization knows this year everything is contingent on how it goes with the new coach because new coaches usually have their guys, uh, and if you're not one of their guys, they
Yeah.
kind of start
Yeah.
maneuvering to put
Hmm.
people in position to fail to get their guys that they may be
Hmm.
thinking, okay, we can get this QB from over here who's not happy, and he's going to come up, whatever the case is, and we can
Cause
dangle Lamar as a
and
trade
just
piece. Oh,
and as you say that, Declan Doyle came out, I think it was a few days ago, and said they are trying to phase out the option.
so that
Phase out the option
that's hit number
and
one. That's hit.
and taking away the pistol formation from this is Lamar's bread and butter. Pistol
Yeah.
formation option, the run pass option. He has an option. You normally know when he's going to run, when he's going to pass because he has Justice Hill back there if he's going to pass it, or if he's going to keep it for himself. Justice Hill's in the back. If he's going to run it,
Mm.
Derrick Henry's back there. You start to drop little hints like that. You make it say, all right, let's see if he can complete this. If he can do without these things, then we can keep him. If not, then you know those
We'll
Raiders
move on. Right?
rumors, you know what I mean? Those Raiders rumors that were prevalent this offseason about trading him for the number one pick and getting taken Fernando Mendoza, those things
Bring
start to
back
come
on
back
the
soon.
table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially if Mendoza gets out, and he probably will because it's the Raiders. But that's a story for another day with them.
I think he's gonna be all
Um,
right. I think he's gonna be all right though. I think he's gonna be all right.
I'm not. I respected Mendoza. I hate that he beat my Hurricanes, but
Mm-hmm.
I respect him. I just don't. I think the Raiders are a circus, and hopefully, Tom Brady is over there and he can clean up their mess. But it's been a circus with them. So, but if not, if he does, ball out, that's good. That can be good either way because then they still can dangle Lamar, depending on what happens during the season. But hopefully, Lamar, I'm rooting for him. Black QB, I'm always rooting for them. So hopefully, he come out and do his thing. So I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the conference. So say they don't win the division and the Bengals win the division.
Okay.
You got Buffalo, you got Houston,
Mm-hmm.
you got Broncos, you got the Chiefs, who's always in contention regardless if Mahomes is coming back off injury or not. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. The Bengals are 5. They can it's right there for the because I oh, and then New England is 6. Not in any I'm not putting them in that order, but that's 6 teams if they
So
don't win the division.
so you said six teams above Baltimore if they don't win the division.
That's what
Mm.
like not in no order, but that's who they would compete for. Because if they don't win the division, then they gotta get a wild card.
They got to get a wild
Um,
card.
you think it's gonna be wild card? You don't
I think it's gonna be wild card. I mean, it's gonna take a Herculean effort from another one of those teams to uh, win out and keep Baltimore out. I think Baltimore is gonna win the games necessary to get a wild card. I'm not gonna keep them out like last year. Last year was tough, and I think last year, I honestly think, and a lot of people won't agree, I think last year needed to happen because I don't think we could have won another year with John Harbaugh. Couldn't have done it. But for sure, I think that they make the playoffs this year. Do they make it past the wild card?
so
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think so. It depends on what the matchup is. I think Houston probably struggles a little bit this year offensively because I'm not sure about CJ Stroud. Oh, Buffalo's of course. I think Buffalo's gonna be there. Um, are we? Is everybody out on Kansas City? Because I feel like everybody's out on Kansas City at this point. Like everybody's like maybe, hey, this is a retooling year. They aren't as good. Something's happening. I haven't really heard as much.
I mean, people are not only now. I think it's because Mahomes is coming back off the injury,
Mm-hmm.
and people want to see. Of course, it's Mahomes, it's Kansas City, so you never count them out. But people want to see it before they believe it. And then you got Kelsey. I think this is his last year. And then you got a couple other. The running back situation is not really nobody there that you can really say is I would be scared of. And of
Kenny
course,
Walker.
uh,
He just won a Super Bowl. Kenny Walker just won a Super Bowl with
yeah,
Seattle.
I understand. It's still not the only thing. Me personally, the only player on Kansas City that scares me is Mahomes. If Mahomes is 100% healthy, I think they can beat anybody. Just because he's that good.
No Chris
Um,
Jones. No Chris Jones. No.
the defense is fine. I think because and Chris Jones is going to be good. I think they messed up sending a cornerback over to the Rams, McDuffie. But yeah, they should be fighting for a playoff spot. Like I said, it all depends on Mahomes and if he's healthy enough. And from what I heard, he was out there practicing and looking good. So if he's healthy, you always got to count
Mm,
for him in the conference. So
okay.
to me, it would be right now. You got as always Buffalo. I think would be one.
Mm-hmm.
I think Denver would be 1A. Um,
You got Denver.
I got Denver I got Denver 2 or 1A between
Mm-hmm.
them and Buffalo. I can
Okay.
see
Okay.
them top of the division. And then I got Houston because of their defense would be
Mm-hmm.
3 for me.
Okay.
New England just off of
The Super
what they
Bowl.
showed. I'm kind of still I'm kind of still on the fence with them, even though they played great last season and they made it to the Super Bowl.
Hold on.
I want to see if it's consistent.
I think they traded. I'm not saying they actually traded, but they traded off AJ. They traded off Stephon Diggs for AJ Brown,
That
bro.
was for AJ Brown, so
That's nice.
that's a plus for them, and that gives Drake May a big target, either down the field or across on cross patterns. So I still got them 4, and they can go anywhere from 4 to 1 to me, depending, like I said, on Drake May. Does he take a step forward and show that he's here to stay and he's elite, or does he regress? Um, but he could be another Tom Brady esque story because he was. I mean, people talked about him, but he wasn't really, to me, top quarterback like that, in my opinion. So I got them 4, and then I got Baltimore and Cincinnati 5-6, and then Jacksonville and the Chargers fighting at the end of that, in my opinion.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. But I think all right. So I have a theory. Uh, normally Jim Harbaugh's third year, the team takes a leap. I I want to say I see that maybe happening with the Chargers, so they might be up a little bit further with that
Yeah,
because by year three they take a leap. Normally, if you watch the trajectory of if you watch the trajectory of well, both in college and in when he was with the 49ers, when he got to the 49ers, it was year three that they made the Super Bowl. It was by year
I think I
five
told
that
you already.
he was by year five he was out. Same thing with Michigan. He was year three, big run, national championship. By year five, he was
I can
out.
see I can see them surprising people. I believe in Herbert in the regular season. I think he flames out in the postseason. And I think if they run it back Omarion, if he turns out to be what they say he is, then that'll catapult him because I know Jim, he wants to run the ball.
Right.
So if that guy is a 3-down back workhorse for him, then I can see that happening. Because if you putting the season on Herbert's arm for them to put up 40 points, I think he makes a lot of mistakes when the focal point is on him to make
Mm-hmm.
something happen. So if they have a consistent running game, I can see them really competing and moving up for me from where I have them for this season. So that's something to watch as well as we move forward from week to week, how they do. This is going to be tough. I think the AFC going to be tough
As always.
as it always is. And it's a lot of intriguing storylines waiting to unfold and see how it goes. And similar, the NFC. You talk about my Cowboys.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's get into that.
Um, you know, Last season, as always, the offense is elite. You had Dak, you got CD, we had picked up George Pickens. George Pickens was looking like top 2 receiver in the NFL all season, making spectacular catches. Javonte Williams coming over from Denver last season
Mm-hmm.
surprised me. I
Yeah,
watched
I
him. I know
liked
he
him.
got hurt.
I liked him a lot. I liked him a
He
lot.
got hurt in Denver, but it was flashes um, in Denver for a little bit, and I was like, if he's healthy, I want to see what he can do. He came and he produced. He's tough between the tackles, really tough to bring down. Um, so the offense last season, nothing. They put up 40 and they sleep. That was great. Defense, defense had me ready to break every TV in my house, break up furniture, bro. Like they were dead last to like everything, and I'm like, when they said, well, Eberflus is, I'm like, why would you go get Eberflus? This guy is a relic, ancient, and everywhere he goes, he's terrible. People, give it a chance, and I'm like, give it a chance for what? So, and this is before we got Quentin Williams because we had traded Micah. Micah was doing his baby whining thing as usual. He didn't want to be there. So as usual, and every summer the Cowboys are uh, drama filled, so proper. So last summer we had that with Micah.
For
Finally
sure.
they traded right before the season started to Green Bay. We got back Kenny Clark, and then some picks, which I'll get to in a minute, what that turned into. So defense was fucking terrible, man. Like when you talk about watching us score and knowing soon as the offense get off the field, the opposing offense is going march down the field and score, and that we have to continue to keep putting up points. It was just crazy. Like I was at last season, I think I was kind of like checked out, like game 6. I was like, yeah, it's not healthy for me. It's not healthy for the family. It just wasn't good. Like I don't even want to name some of them guys that was on defense. That was like the cornerbacks getting smoked. Trayvon Diggs, Bland, even though he was he got coming off of foot surgery, and he wasn't his best. But Trayvon Diggs was getting smoked on go routes. Linebackers, DeMarion Overshown was hurt, so he wasn't there. We had some guys, Kenneth Murray, smoked. Um, Donovan Wilson getting smoked every game. So, you know, that
Uh,
was cool. Go
so
ahead.
let me ask you a question. With the names you mentioned, the Kenneth Murrays, the Travion Diggs, the Deron Bland, all those guys, the Marion Overshown, do you think that is a coaching thing or do you think that it's a personnel thing? Because when you really look at all those guys, Kenneth Murray produced in San Diego. Uh Demarion Overshown, he don't look too bad out there in Atlanta right now. I know it's preseason, but he don't look too bad out there in Atlanta.
Overshawn is still on the Cowboys.
He's still there's
Yeah,
another
Donovan Wilson.
Overshown. I saw
No,
I saw another Overshown on Atlanta. I'm not
no,
sure.
Demario. Yeah, Overshawn is still. He was hurt last season, so
Okay. Okay.
he was
So
hurt. Yeah,
I take my mistake, but like the
but it
Travion
is.
Diggs, like do you think it's
Trayvon Diggs
coaching
is.
or is it personnel?
It's coaching. It's coaching. It's coaching, and then it's technique.
Mhm.
Trayvon Diggs is terrible on he'll bite on um any route where it's a stop and go.
Mm.
He lost a step because he got hurt, so if the receiver gets behind him, he's toast. What Trayvon Diggs was good at was his instincts. And when before Eberflus got there, they were more attacking defense, undercutting passes, breaking on certain passes, and that's how you were getting Deron Bland to get all of those um, interceptions and then touchdowns off the interceptions, returning them for the touchdowns.
Right.
And you had Trayvon Diggs become an All Pro because they were breaking on passes. What happened is they changed the philosophy. It was a lot of zone, and they were getting eat up in his zone defense, and it was just they just didn't know what they were doing. And to be honest with you, so say all of that. Eberflus is gone. We got Christian Parker over from the Eagles this summer for the new defensive coordinator. We got Rashawn Gary from Green Bay. Of course, we traded for Quentin Williams the middle of the season. Gave him an extension. He's the top two DT, in my opinion. We got Overshown healthy. And then the pick from Green Bay in that Michael Parsons trade got us Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs fell to us from Ohio State, safety.
Mhm.
They tagging him as generational defensive player from his intellect and his instincts on the field. And from what I've seen in practices, it's been pretty good. So, they've revamped the defense, and then we got Siobhan Revel, who was there last season, and he was at ECU in college. He had a knee injury, so last season he was kind of still rehabbing that knee. And from what I've seen, he looks like he has a better step. And then we still got Bland on the other side, so we'll see how it goes. Right now on paper, the team is better overall, and anytime you have that offense, they're always a threat to win games.
Okay.
But I really think this season, if they listen to what Christian Parker is saying, and from watching him with the Eagles and the guys he had with the Eagles, it's similar type of athleticism and intelligence for the positions that he needs at safety, linebacker, and then with that defensive line, I think it's really stout. And then we just, matter of fact, signed Von Miller for insurance. I'm not saying he's going to come in and get 15 sacks, but he had 9 for Buffalo last season. I'm sorry, Washington last season. Pardon me. He played for Washington.
Right.
He had 9 sacks, limited time. So, and we can always use championship mentality. So I think similar to what you were saying in our division, we got the Eagles, we got the Giants, and we got the Commanders. I think it's a two-team race
Yeah.
in the East between us and the Eagles. I think the Eagles will take a step back just because they lost A.J. Brown. And even though they got Smith as the number one receiver, I don't see a second receiver because I think they had drafted Malachi Lemon,
Makai Lemon, yeah.
and he has a hamstring issue. So he hasn't really played. And I want to see how they do. You know, I like I like Hurts, but I don't like Hurts. So I want to see if they're gonna give him more. I don't think Hurts is great at throwing the ball down the field. Um, so I want to see how that's gonna work with one receiver. Like before, they had two receivers. They had Saquon Barkley back there, who's still there, who's still a threat, but it's a year later. He didn't coming off of that 2,000-yard season. He didn't really perform super great, in my opinion.
Mhm.
But I'm worried about them in the division. The Giants, I think, is still young. Jackson Dart, he's still learning.
Mhm.
Scatterbull, whatever his name is, coming off an injury, even though he's still doing backflips coming off his injury, but that shows his immaturity. So I'm happy for that because that shows you're still immature, so you still make mistakes. I love Malik Neighbors as a wide receiver. I think he's great, but I just think they're a little too young right now, and that defense has to prove itself. Similar to us, I think the defense has gotten better, and with Harbaugh there, I want to see what his mentality is,
Mm.
how he wants to do it. Is it going to be, the run game? Or are you going to let Jackson Dart learn and, air the ball out? I want to see how that goes. But I think, they're about a year or two away from really making noise in the division, let alone the conference. And then the Commanders, they up and down. One the season before last, they were great, and then last season I think they went 5-12. Uh, so I want to see what Jaden Daniels does. He got Stephon Diggs out there. Um,
Scary Terry.
I think the division, yeah, scary Terry. But I think the division is ours to win. If we if the defense is middle of the pack, we win in the division. So if they anywhere from 10 to 15 in statistical categories on the defense, we win the division going away.
Mm.
Because I don't think nobody can stop that offense. Except for Dak. If Dak is on his MVP um, campaign again, yeah, it's lights out for that division. And then we just up there battling with the Rams and the Seahawks. Maybe I'm biased. It's my team, but I just I just need that defense to do ordinary things. I don't need it to be shut out. I just need us, if we can put up 27, keep teams to 17. I'm happy with that. Keep teams to 20. If we put up 30, keep them to 20.
Mm-hmm.
And get off the field. If we can get off the field on third down consistently, then we'll be a Super Bowl contender this season. And I know you probably hear that from Cowboy fans every season. So,
For sure. For sure.
that's just being honest, just looking at it. Because if it wasn't, I'd tell you, fan
Yeah.
or not,
Yeah.
it's gonna be garbage this year. Don't even tune in. But
Yeah.
I kind of feel a different way. I like this.
Yeah. It's about being a realist at the end of
Yeah.
the day. Just to piggyback off of what you're saying about Philly's receiving core looks nasty. Devontae Smith, Mekhi Lemon, Dontavion Wicks. You got Hollywood Brown over there, Elijah Moore, former Jet over there, Darius Cooper, Johnny Wilson, Quez Watkins, who's a really good returner, Britton Covey, Samori Torre, Eric Azukanma. He's from Miami, played in Miami last year, and Danny Gray. That's their receivers this year. Like you said, I don't see anybody outside of Dontavion. It starts looking real funny in the light after Devontae Smith, especially with the Mekhi Lemon injury. Hollywood ain't Hollywood no more. Elijah Moore, yeah, I don't really see anything more than Elijah
Really
there, but
I think Wicks has to step up. If Wicks steps up and he's actually shown that he can be a reliant number two receiver, like even in Green Bay, he would be in and out. It would be some games he would look good, and in some games he would disappear.
yeah,
If he can be consistent as that number two, then I can see something happening with their offense. But if they only got one receiver and he's small, I love him, but he's small. Yeah, I'm not really sold on them dominating
yeah.
the division like that. They didn't
As
dominate
great
before, but
as great as Devontae Smith is, he's easy to get off his spot.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, they need that. They need that AJ Brown receiver. They need that big
the big body,
receiver that can get down the field and then you know fight for the ball, and not be moved out of the space.
right?
So, and that's something I think we'll see as it goes forward. What happens, even with us. I think behind Javonte Williams, that running back two spot is real shaky. Jadon Blue, he played at
I
Texas.
like Jadon Blue a lot.
I like his speed, but he fumbles a lot. And then I'm watching him, and he doesn't. I don't know if it's his vision,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not hitting. He's not hitting the holes properly to utilize that speed or get into open space. I hope between him, I think Phil Maffa is the other one, and then
Clemson,
Malik
yeah.
Davis. And Malik Davis is like fourth on the list. But every time I watch Malik Davis, he's always doing something positive on the field. So I'm like,
Okay.
I want Jadon Blue to be running back too, or do we go out and find that the lightning to Javonte Williams Thunder, and is maybe that the running back two is not on the roster at the moment, you
Okay,
know.
that's a fair assessment.
And from what Jerry was saying, he's ready to, cash in some chips from the future to, solidify this team as a Super Bowl contender. I've never heard him speak like that before. Normally they are cap boys and worried about the salary cap and we can't do X, Y, and Z. So they've been moving differently this summer. The big name out there is still Max Crosby. He was supposed to come to y'all. Um, and then that fell through. And, Raiders is still not really 100% committing to he'll be a Raider for life. And Jerry and Dallas and them was in on that as well, trying to get him when he was when y'all pivoted and got Trey Hendrickson. So that's still a name out there, and if that can happen, then that just takes that takes the top off on that defense. To put him on that line with Quentin Williams, Kenny Clark, and Rashawn Gary, that'll be scary. But that's wishful thinking for right now. I'm I don't want to say I'm content. I'm eager to see what this defense can do when the season starts. Because if they can, like I said, if they can do anything where they can start holding teams to getting off the field,
Mm-hmm.
and that is going to be a lot of W's this season for the Cowboys. So, because I was looking, and I'm looking at the conference, which is another thing, and I'm like, if they win the division, you got Chicago, you got, of course, Seattle and Los Angeles
Mm-hmm.
as 1 and 2. However you want to do it. Seahawks will be one because they won the Super Bowl, but the Rams, man, if Aaron Donald was coming back,
He coming back.
he come back and get on that line.
It
That's
might be
gonna be it's gonna
it
be
might be lights
it's
out.
gonna be terrible.
There's
With
gonna be
Myles Garrett on one side, Aaron Donald, that's gonna be
that's gonna
all right. McDuffie on
on
the
the
outside.
outside.
Yeah, that's gonna be terror for teams. So
Disgusting.
definitely got them 1-2 Seahawks, Rams, and then what the Bears did last season. I got them up there, and then Detroit, I got them there, and of course you got to pick somebody out of the NFC South. Unfortunately, I think the whole division is garbage, but
The whole division
uh,
is garbage. The whole division is
yeah,
garbage. I think I think I heard somebody say they think the Saints are gonna win the division, and I was like, what? The
I mean,
Saints?
you can just close your eyes and point to somebody that's going to go 9-8 or 8-9 in
Mm,
that division, and they got to win the division. So, but yeah, I see the Cowboys being top four. In the conference, not the way that it's stacked with the way the playoffs are, but I see them being a top four team as far as wins are
yeah,
concerned. Because I know because of course the NFC South, that throws a monkey wrench in everything because they got to take one of those four spots.
right.
So, but I got the Cowboys winning the division, so they don't even have to worry about that. And then from there, just hopefully they can execute in the playoffs. But it's gonna be a wild season. I can't wait to get started, man. I've been on my Knicks high for the last 2 months. Matter of fact, earlier today, I watched Inside the NBA the post game after game 5 and 6 in the finals. So I'm just looking to get some more sports, something to get me excited. I can't wait, man, for the football season to start and these games to count. So,
Uh
but
yeah.
so
Okay.
that's because we got we a lot of debate. I think we play y'all week 3.
Yeah,
So that's gonna be a good one. We definitely will have a good pod off of that one.
for sure. Before and I think before and after. So yeah, we definitely gonna have a
Yeah, that's gonna be a goodie. I can't wait for that one. And then we was talking about the top 10 QBs. You said you had
yes,
some
yes.
thoughts on that too before we get out of here. Talk about them 10 QBs.
So ES, ESPN top 10 quarterbacks are Josh Allen, Mahomes, Stafford, Burrow, Jackson, Dak at 6, Herbert at 7, Drake May at 8, Jared Goff at 9, Caleb Williams at 10. I want to hear your problems with that list, number one, and then I'll chime in after you.
So if we going like we spoke earlier, if we going off of production over a certain amount of years, I think Patrick Mahomes is one.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we talk about production, Josh Allen hasn't gotten it done in the playoffs.
Precisely.
Um, he's been great during the regular season, but when the playoffs come, he hasn't gotten it done. So I will put Patrick Mahomes one, regardless of injury or not. He's just automatically number one. I understand why they put him two, because it's injury. Um, Matthew Stafford, I will put two. He's won a Super Bowl, and he's been consistently elite, whether it's for the Lions or the Rams. Um, he's won a Super Bowl in the last couple years as well. Um, then it gets tricky. I probably would go Josh Allen, just because Joe Burrow's been hurt the last couple seasons. I think we
Josh
know what he can
Allen
do.
at 4.
I would go Josh Allen at four.
Okay.
Yeah. So it would be no, I'm sorry. What I said? I said Patrick Mahomes. I said Matthew Stafford. Then I would go Josh Allen at three.
Josh Allen at 3. Okay.
He would be three only because Joe Burrow has to prove it to me. Um, I know what he can do because I've seen it in the past, and like we said, he went to a Super Bowl. He took the Bengals to a Super Bowl. He didn't win it, but he took them there. But I need to see it now. It's been a couple seasons, and he's been hurt. But if we're talking just mechanics and tools and actual talent, then it would be fine. And then Lamar and Dak's cool. Justin Herbert,
At 7.
every every year I hear the same thing. Wait till you see Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, he has all the tools, and I'm like, all right, let me watch a Chargers game. This is just me waking up on a Sunday. Let me put on a Chargers game. I know they be saying Herbert, and every time I watch, I'm like, it's interceptions, it's fumbles, it's losing games at the end when the ball is in his hand to get his team to where they need to be. It's always something that's holding him back, and I'm like, he has all these tools, but it's never materialized into wins or significant wins for me. So I would drop him. I would drop Justin Herbert to probably like 10. And then to me, because I would put, I think golf,
Okay.
Drake May,
Okay.
off of the small sample size,
Ooh, okay,
but
okay.
he's played he's played well under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 9, 10 for them. Maybe put Herbert over May and put May at 10. And
Mm-hmm.
then Caleb Williams. eh, I guess we basing that off of last season. It has to be off of last season. I need to see more. I don't even know if he's top 10 to me
So,
on this list.
all right. So I'm gonna repeat the list, and then I'm gonna make some claims, and then I'll make my list. So number one, you got Josh Allen. Josh Allen hasn't performed in the playoffs. I don't think that he should be one without the playoff performance. If I'm going by recent, say the last 3-4 years, Josh Allen hasn't performed in the playoffs. He's had great games in the playoffs where they've played against Mahomes and they've turned into absolute classics. I appreciate that, but you haven't won a Super Bowl with all of those deep playoff runs, so it doesn't matter to me. Mahomes should be number one. Uh, I put I I put Mahomes at number one. Then Matthew Stafford, of course, number two. Number three, I keep Matthew Stafford. Now, Before I said Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, I told him I would switch positions. That's 4 and 5. Dak Prescott, I really had nothing for him because I think that he does belong in the top 10. I just don't know exactly where, but I'll put him in my next list. Justin Herbert. He's just like every other Chargers quarterback. He's going to end up in the top 10 just because he's a Chargers quarterback and he produces numbers and it looks good, but it produces no winning of any substance. Then you have Drake May. Beside Drake May, I put still need more proof. Jared Goff, I think that he should be a little bit further up. Then you got Caleb Williams at 10, and I said you still need more proof. So I took him completely out. So if I'm going to go with my top 10, you got Josh Allen, Mahomes, Stafford, Burrow. No, actually, let me do that again. Allen, Mahomes at 2, Stafford at 3, Jackson at 4, Dak at 5, Burrow at 6, Purdy at 7, Mayfield at 8, Hurts at 9, and Goff at 10. Goff and Mayfield can be switched, but I just basically wanted to round out my top 10.
See that? I can live with that. I'm never putting Hurts in my top 10. I can't do it.
Hurts has limitations, but I'm talking about when we talk about quarterbacks, we're talking about success in terms of what they've done. Yeah,
you can, but see me. I guess you can say, Hurts. Yeah, he can be. He would.
And notice he's at the back end though, so he's at 9.
More lower 10 to me. I would probably put Hurts at 10 and move Caleb Williams off. I think that list that I went through is fine. I think Mayfield is like 12. Right there knocking on the door. But I think, and then I would put Hurts at 10 and drop Caleb Williams probably below and put Mayfield at 11.
So the question is, because I have a name here, the question is, how do you feel about Love, though? Jordan Love. How do you feel about Jordan Love?
I think he's a quarterback. I don't really see is it really?
Is it
him
he's the
or is it the
same?
system?
Because I think he's the same quarterback as Justin Herbert is.
Is it him or is it the system?
I think it's the system.
In Green Bay with him. Because like with Green Bay, I think you can just put a quarterback in there and they'll put up numbers.
I think it's the system. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a decent quarterback. He has all the tools. I think it's just, I believe his stardom is more so the system.
Yeah, because I don't.
Because I really believe you can switch he and Justin Herbert out, and it's the same production, same thing.
So it's like, is it them or is it like? But with Justin Herbert, I can see certain tools of certain throws that he can make that I can understand what people say his talent is ridiculous. Jordan Love, it's hard. I just look at him as a quarterback. I don't really. He doesn't pop on the screen.
Yeah, I've seen Jordan Love make some throws. I've seen Jordan Love make some throws in some inclement weather where I'm like, yeah, he's actually got some pop in the arm. So, yeah, he got a little pop on the arm. I give him, he got a little power.
Top 13.
Top 15. I give him top 15.
For me. But yeah, he wouldn't be above none of the guys that we spoke on, in my opinion.
I
said, I would put Hurt 10.
I don't think he's better than Purdy. So that's why I wouldn't put him in. I don't think he's better than, and a lot of people call Purdy a system quarterback. Cool. But he's successful. And that's where I kind of gave him a little bit.
Yeah, he's proving me wrong. Purdy's proving me wrong. So I'm not going to combat that where you put him at because he's proving me wrong. I thought he was more system quarterback, but I seen him do some things in some games where he actually put the team on his back
and play without Ayuk and McCaffrey. And he played pretty well.
Yeah, Debo, he's played well. So that I can give you. He should be top 10. So like I said, I think you put Purdy up there and you can move Herbert out just off of success and then put Hurts in there instead of Caleb Williams because Caleb Williams is still you need to show me
Caleb.
more.
I have nothing against Caleb Williams as much as I'm trying to like him. I don't. It's just maybe what he stands for as a person. It's just I don't really care for him too much. But I think he's a good quarterback. I think he can be better. It's just I need more proof. He's one of those I need more proof. Drake May, as much as he's reached the Super Bowl last year, I still need more proof because I think his defense carried him there. Trevor Lawrence, another guy, need more proof. I mean, he's been in the league 6 years now. Still need more proof from Trevor Lawrence, and I think he's going to be better with Liam Cohen
Good old
coming up this year.
sunshine. Old sunshine.
So,
but we'll see. Yeah, it's been Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, but he got. I think he suffered from fanfare, in my opinion, coming out of college. I think they had him.
I don't think that was the case. I think he has all the tools. Again, we talk about the tools. He has all the tools. He has everything a quarterback needs to have. I think it was coming into the league, bad coaching. Bro, me and you couldn't. Oh well, I wouldn't say me and you, but Urban Meyer. We could have done a better job than Urban Meyer at that. And then you have you have Urban Meyer coming in, and then you had Doug Peterson. He wasn't coached well. I thought he would do better with Doug Peterson. He showed progression under Doug Peterson, but after that, it was just kind of like, all right, we might be getting into bust territory. So he's now under Liam Cohen, and he moved strides from game 1 to game 18 under Liam Cohen. So I think
better. He looked way better throughout the last season. So, shout to him. Hopefully it continues. And like I said, Jacksonville, they're a sleeper team to me to make the playoffs. And we'll see how that goes. But ladies and gentlemen, if y'all, leave your comments, let us know who we put in, who we left off. If y'all rock with the top 10 that we said that me and Nev had put out. We appreciate y'all for listening tonight. Absolutely great pod between me and Nev today.
And we appreciate if you disagree.
Yeah, with anything, just leave us a comment. Let us know that you listen. That's what we're looking for. Let us know that you rock with us. Tell us how we doing, and how you feel about the pod. Nev, I appreciate you being here
always
every week.
Always.
As usual, you can find us on Twitter. My ad is at Beezo _BEEZO __. So you'll find the links there. You'll find the podcast there. Hit the follow. Find us on YouTube. Talk Nice with Beezo. Subscribe, like, share. Nev, let them know where they can find you at as well.
You can find me on Twitter at Nevin S Palmer. Then I also want to give a shameless plug to the Substack, Beezo Substack. You gotta go and read the articles that he drops in between these podcasts. They are amazing, literally amazing. Good content, real insight on whatever it is that he might be talking about. So real good insight. You want a little extension of what we talk about here? Go and check out the Substack. Please. And while you're here, like, share, subscribe, comment, do whatever you need to do to get us up in the algorithm, run up the hype, whatever it is, and grow with us. You know what I mean? So grow with us. That's all we trying to do.
We'll be here every week. So we'll see y'all next week. We appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe. Y'all stay intrigued. Stay locked in with us, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
For sure.
All right, we out of here.